Hello, everyone. I hope everyone can hear me. If you can hear me, I would appreciate if you give a thumbs up. And welcome to the Blockchain Analytics Workshop. I'm still waiting for the thumbs up, so I know that you can hear me. All right. I got a yes from my one person, so you can hear me. Perfect. Yes, welcome to the Blockchain Analytics workshop today, brought to you by Ecolens. And I will quickly introduce the team behind this workshop, as well as Ecolens, before we dive into the workshop itself. All right, so this workshop is brought to you by us at Ecolens, and we have today Donatos, who is going to be the trainer of this workshop. Donatos is a senior blockchain analyst, and he will introduce himself a little bit later, and he will basically show you how to analyze different blockchains, how to get blockchain data, how to structure it, and he will showcase quite a lot of things that are pretty interesting as well for a business focused audience, but also for developers. I am the founder of Ecolens, and here with me is Prosper as well, our community manager. I will let Prosper introduce herself quickly.
Hello, everyone. I am Prosper Ayuri, the community manager for Ecolens, and I'm excited to be here because I am willing to assist you with any question you have regarding this workshop. So please, we'll be using the comment section as much as we can. You can send your questions regarding the workshop or any question you have regarding Ecolens. So please do well to use the chat box. And also, before that, share the link to Ecolens profile with your friends, because this session is definitely going to be an amazing one. And it's not just for those who want to be blockchain data analysts, it's also for everyone, crypto natives and everyone in the crypto space. So yeah, I'm in the comment section.
Thank you so much, Prosper. All right. So what do we do at Ecolens? Ecolens is a training and hackathon organization. So our job is to upskill and onboard professionals to work in blockchain. We have trained over 9,000 professionals since our inception 2 years ago to work in all sectors in the blockchain industry, both technical and non-technical. We also host our own online hackathons. We have completed more than 30 hackathons. And during these hackathons, we've built more than 350 decentralized applications. And here you can see some of the names we're working with. We're working with Solana, we're working with Stellar, Celo, Gnosis Chain, so all kinds of larger blockchains, as well as new and upcoming blockchains, where we're teaching technical as well as non-technical talent how to build in these blockchains. And as I mentioned, we have we host workshops like this, or even training sessions which are longer. So, for example, 6 weeks or 8 weeks trainings, where we teach professionals how to develop on certain blockchains. Or we also had a Web3 marketing training. We had a blockchain security training. What we also do is we host hackathons and developer challenges, where our talents and professionals that are part of our community can start building their first projects and earn rewards, as well as start a first working relationship with blockchain protocols. And we also have a job board. We frequently post jobs on our social media, or send you jobs through our newsletter that are advertised from our corporate partners. All right. So without further ado, I would like to give the word to Donatos, who is our trainer today. Hello, Donatos. Hello, I think you're muted.
Hi everyone, I'm excited to be here. My name is Donatus. I'm a senior blockchain analyst. I have over 6 years experience in this space. I am also a contributor to Uniswap and several other protocols. I am a three-time data analyst champion. And today we're going to be talking about blockchain. We're going to be making analysis about the blockchain. And trust me, it's going to be an exciting and insightful session. So what we're going to be looking at today is understanding blockchain transactions. We're going to be looking at the analytics tool that we can be able to use to query the blockchain. And we're going to also do a deep dive into the basic syntax that we can use to query the blockchain, right? And moving on, the next thing we're going to build a beautiful dashboard to display our findings. What I want us to look at is how transaction actually work on the blockchain. When you make a request, right? When you want to send USDT, when you want to send a token to another address, what you're actually doing, you are sending a request to the node, the miners who will verify the request that you made. They are basically checking whether you have the required fund that you want to send. And when they verify that you have the amount of token that you want to send, they are going to add your request to the block, right? They are going to put your request in a block and add it to the chain of blocks, which is what we call blockchain. And that is when you get that your transaction is successful, right? When you get that your transaction is successful and you take your transaction hash to platforms like Etherscan, you're going to see basically that your transaction is successful. You're going to see details about the transaction time, the time at which you made the transaction, the receiver of that transaction, the originator of the transaction. You're going to basically get every information about your transaction, and it is stored on chain, and it is publicly verifiable, and this makes blockchain transparent. So some of the tools you can query the blockchain with includes there are several tools like Dune, which you can use to query blockchain data and aggregate it into beautiful dashboards. You can also query the blockchain with platforms like Flipside Crypto. There are also other platforms like Google Query. There are also ChainShift Footprint Network. But for the purpose of this training, for the purpose of this workshop, we are going to be focusing on Dune. But you can go ahead and create, if you have account on other platforms, you can equally use it to join in what we are doing. But for the purpose of this workshop, we are going to be using Dune. So you can go ahead and create an account, which I will walk you through how it is going to be done, right? So sit tight and let us proceed. So I'm going to switch my screen now over to. So this is the core focus of what we're going to be doing today, which is the Board Ape Club NFT. So during the NFT craze, the Board Ape Yacht Club NFTs, they were one of the most popular NFTs out there, right? During the NFT craze. And we're going to be making a deep dive analysis on them, knowing how much they were able to generate in fees, how much the platforms were able to generate in royalties, how much how much transaction that happened throughout the Board Ape Club NFT. We're going to see the amount of money that was transacted for this particular NFT. So that is basically what we're going to emphasize on this workshop. So the next thing we're going to do is to move over to Dune. So we're going to switch over to Dune and create an account so we can be able to actually query this blockchain together. So all you have to do is go to dune.com, click on sign up to actually sign up for an account. And once you're done, once you have an account created successfully, you can now sign in. When you click on sign in, it's just basically for you to put in your information, it's going to first of all authenticate you to ensure that you are actually a human and not a bot, and it's going to quickly sign you in. So while it's trying to verify me, you can go ahead also and be creating your own account so you can follow along. If you're also using any other platform like Flipside Crypto, you can also create an account, sign in so you can follow along me. So we're being verified.
All right. So June is taking its time to verify you. um, we actually did like a test trial of this workshop, and it was quite quick for me. But yeah, maybe because I'm a beginner and I had beginner's luck. So are you using your own account or not, or did you create a new one?
I'm trying to create a new one so everybody can follow along.
Okay, maybe you can log in your old account because then it's going to be quicker. I guess everyone who wants to join and register on Dune, they can do it on their own time. Maybe you can use your old account.
I'm logging into my own account now.
Yeah. Let's see if that's going to be quicker. So guys, if you have an account, you can actually also log in, or if you don't, you can also log in. And Donatus will be sharing some queries that you can use now to create a blockchain and also to adjust the way you would like them to work, and then see real time how we're getting some data analyzed, in real time on the blockchain. So and then of course build dashboards after that. That was one of my favorite parts when we did a trial. Okay, maybe you can open a new browser or something to try.
Yeah, that's what I did. That's what I did. So I think
With
I'm
your
logged
old account, I mean.
in. And can you see my screen?
No, no, I'm seeing verifying you're a human. I think you have to share another tab or another screen. Yeah, now I see it. Now I can see.
So when you log into your Doom, this is the page that you see. This is the page that you see. And for us to start creating query, what you have to do is navigate to this edge. You can see this edge. So basically, this is the Dune dashboard. After you've logged in, this is queries dashboard that people have already created. So navigate to create, click on new query, and it will take you to a page where you are going to start writing your own queries and start getting informations that you want, right? So that's what we're doing now.
Donatus, I don't know if you're clicking on something, but we don't see it. All right, now we see it.
Okay. So when you click on create query, this is the option. This is the part of doing where you can write your query. On your left hand, you can see the data that are available on Dune that you can query. Right here is where you write your query, and this is where you run. So with that used to select things from the database. And the from keyword is to get things out of a particular place, and the limit is to limit something to a particular number. So we are going to switch over to Dune, and we're going to write our first select statement. We want to get the transaction that has happened on NFTs, the NFT transaction that have happened over time, because there are millions of NFT transactions that have probably happened, but we want to restrict it to a certain number. So we're going to just select everything from the NFT.traits table, from the NFT.traits table, and we're going to limit it to just the first 100, and we're going to hit run. So when we hit run, you just be patient for your query to run. Once your query runs, Dune will output the results for you. So you can see our result is currently being loaded. So you can see the result output. So you can see the blockchain, the project, the NFT, the project, the version, the time at which this transaction happened, the block month, the block time, the token ID, the token standards. So this is basically the type of transaction it was. This was the type of trade that it was. This is the buyer. This is the amount that this NFT was traded at. So this is the currency. This is the project contract. This is the aggregator. This is the transaction hash for this particular NFT. So these are the information. This is the person that received the NFT. This is the platform where this NFT was traded, and this is the amount. This is the royalties that were received, and also this is the unique trader ID. So these are basically the information about this NFT, and we're just getting just 100 results because we limited our results query to 100, right? So that is basically how to get information. You normally use this query when you want to get a view of the data you're going to be working with. When you want to explore a new data set or a new data table, and you want to get a feel of the columns, the kind of data you'll be working with. So you basically write a very simple query like this. Select asterisk is used to select all from the NFT table. The next thing we are going to be looking at is the ask keyword, the count, and the sum. And these keywords are basically used to get information also from the blockchain. So let us go ahead and let us do counts. Let us get the number. Let's say we want to get the number of transaction that happened, the number of times that the Boyd APH NFT was traded. We want to get the number of times it was traded. We want to get how many times it was traded, how many times it was moved from one platform to the other. We want to see how much was generated for that NFT. We want to see the royalties that were paid. So this is what we're going to do. And to do that, we're going to count select all. So we're going to use the count statement because we want to count the number of transactions that happened. So we're going to do count and we'll put asterisks. So when we put count, we put asterisks. We're counting every transaction that has happened, right?
Donatus, can you show us your screen again where you're putting the query on Dune?
That's the screen I'm on.
Yeah. Now we're on Dune. Yeah.
So this is where we select the count. We want to count all the transaction that is happening. We want to get the how much did this NFT generated. And for us to do that, we're going to use the sum function. And the table that we're going to be summarizing is we're going to be getting the summation of the amount that was purchased, right? So you can see on the column there's an amount USD, right? So you can see the amount original, amount raw. So we're going to be using the amount USD. So we basically just write amount underscore USD. So we also want to get how much in fees we are paid. So for us to do that, we're going to also be using you also navigate to the table, you will see the platform fee amount. You also see the platform fee amount in USD. So that's what we're going to use. We do also some platform fee amounts in USD. So we're also going to do the same for royalties because we want to also get the royalties. So we're going to do royalties underscore USD. And this is the column that we're using for it. Okay, the table royalty fee amount USD. So that's why you have to always pay attention to the table, because when you write the wrong table, you're going to get a wrong output. So royalty fee underscore amount USD, right? So we're going to say, where are we selecting? Where do we want to get this information from? The information resides in the NFT.traits table. So we hit on run.
Donatus, maybe quickly a question that came in the chat. How did you know the name of the table to query from? There was one question in the chat.
Okay, then the way you know the table you want to query from is if you're looking for NFT transactions, Dune there's a documentation. Dune has a documentation where they list all their data. If you're looking for NFT transactions that happen on the NFT, so you have to look for the table that contains all the NFT transactions. So if you look at the left-hand side, if you look at the left-hand side, you will see essentials, right? So when you click on this essentials, it's going to bring out some of the tables that Dune has. They are encoded table. So when you look at here, you will see Ethereum transactions. So these are where you see transactions that happened on Ethereum. When you go to DEX trades, so these are decentralized transactions, the trades that happen on DEXs. When you go to NFT, so these are the trades that happen on NFT trades that happen. So Dune actually simplifies the tables for you, so you will know exactly where you are querying from. So this is the data explorer. This is the table. So we are using this NFT trace. So watch what will happen. So when I navigate to this NFT trace, when I click on this dotted arrow, so it writes the same NFT trace for me. So let's say I want to get information from another table. When I go to, for example, Ethereum transaction, when I click on this dotted line, so I get Ethereum.transaction. So this is basically how you get the information. So it depends on the information you're trying to query. If you're trying to query transaction informations on Ethereum, you go to the Ethereum street table. If you're trying to get for the prices, you go to the prices table. So everything has been arranged. I hope I answered the question.
Yes, thank you.
So okay, moving on. So now we've run this query, and you can see here we have results. For this result, the columns they are not named accordingly. It's confusing. We don't even know which is which. So how do we do that? So we use the as statement. So this count, we want to call it the total transactions. The amount, we want to call it, so we're renaming the table to, so it can be readable. It can be human readable. So we're renaming the total transaction volume. Total transaction volume. So we're also doing the same thing for the platform fee. We're calling it fees collected. So we're also doing it for royalties. We're naming it royalties collected. Now, when we rerun this table, watch what will happen here. Okay. Sorry, there was a typo on the table. So we're rerunning it again, and you will see. So now our columns are named properly. So we can now say, okay, this information we're seeing here is for the total transaction that happened. This information is for the transaction volume, right? So the next thing we're going to do, because these numbers are not readable, they are not readable. So how do we make it readable? Dune also has a tool. So when you just navigate down, you will see all the columns, right? You will see all the columns. So what if you want to make this readable to whole numbers? In the format section, we just put comma. If we put comma, you can see it becomes readable. So we're going to also do the same for transaction volume. We want to add the dollar sign and make it a whole number. And we're going to do the same for the other columns. When we do the same for other columns, automatically all our data now becomes readable. So we can see that over 92 million NFT transaction has occurred. We can see that over 89 billion have been traded in NFTs. We can see that over $1.5 billion have been collected in fees when it comes to NFT transaction. And we can also see clearly that over $2 billion have been paid out in royalties to NFT creators. So that's an insightful data we have on NFT, right? So, but what if we want to get like information what if we want to get information for a particular NFT? Let's say we want to get information about just the Fits NFT, or get information about a particular NFT. How do we do that? This is where we use another keyword that's SQL offers, and it's called where. Where is used to filter, right? So we're going to filter this table. We're saying where NFT contracts. So let's again preview the table. So if you're looking at the NFT trace table, so we can see that what are we going to filter this information? So we are going to filter with the NFT contract address, because every NFT is unique on the blockchain. So we're going to be using the unique NFT contract address for the NFTs. And we're going to do that with NFT contracts, right? So we're going to be filtering where NFT contract equals to. This is where you now put in the contract address NFT you want to get information for, right? This is where you get it. So what NFT do we want to get information for? Remember, I told you the Bored Ape Club NFT.
I think we have some connection issues. Let's wait for Donatus to join again. But before he joins, I want to let you know, guys, that all these queries that we're currently looking at, they might seem very difficult to some of you, or to memorize, or maybe to write down. So we have actually prepared something like a cheat sheet. We call it the Queries Master Sheet, where you can get queries for different analysis that you can do on several things. So it's quite an extensive sheet where you can just copy paste the query, put in Dune, and then get the results without you having to think about how to write this query or run into any errors. For me personally, that's a more comfortable way of querying the blockchain. Of course, for the purposes of this workshop, it's great for you to also learn how to do it. However, for the ones of you who want a quicker, basically way, we are sharing this query sheet with you. So if you're interested to get the sheet, you can just comment blockchain analytics, and then we'll give you the sheet. I'm leaving here in the comments below, or in this line below, so you can just let us know if you would like to get the sheet with all the queries. And I'm guessing that Donatus has some connection problems, because he hasn't joined yet. But yeah, in the meantime, I would like to ask you guys if the information for now is understandable, or if there is anything else that we can help you out with understanding about blockchain analytics. What is left from the workshop is actually to show you also how to create dashboards. This is the next step of the workshop. So when Donatus joins again, we can do that. But in any case, I would love from you to write if there's anything else that you are interested in seeing in this workshop, or maybe in another workshop that we're going to be doing. Just let me know. I'm going to see the comments here. All right. Okay, we have some questions from several people, so let's wait for Donato to join again, and then I'm hoping that he can answer the questions. All right, I think he's back. Okay, Donatos, you're back, right?
Yeah.
All right, sorry. So I'm going to share your screen again. Meanwhile, I announced that we have a master sheet prepared for all important queries, and it's quite an extensive sheet. So whoever wants to get this sheet should comment blockchain analytics, and we'll send you the sheet over LinkedIn. I will send you the sheet over LinkedIn. But I'm going to give the word now to Donatos to continue with his presentation.
All right, so here we can now see, using the where statement, we're now filtering only for a particular NFT, and we're getting the information right here, which is the Bored Ape Club NFT, right? So you can also do the same for any other NFT that you want to get information for, any NFT of your choice. Once you put in the query, once you put in the detail, it appears there for you. So let's try for another NFT. Let's use the Poggy. Let's use the Poggy NFT, and let's run. So if you run for the Poggy NFT, So you can see we're getting the information for the Poggy NFT, right? So the next thing is we're going to put this information that we've gotten here into a beautiful dashboard. That is basically what we're going to do next, to put all the information we've gotten into a dashboard so it becomes readable by anyone. So we're going to be building a very simple dashboard for information we have. So to do that, we click on the new. So we select the visualization because we just have the counters. So Dune have some visualization that you can use. So we're going to be using the counter. So we click on add visualization. So it adds the visualization for you. So we can come down again to the counter option. We can rename it and call it NFT name, right? So we can go ahead and add more visualization to our report. And we're going to also call this, number of transactions. We're going to call it number of transactions. So we're going to add more. So this is where you add the information you want to present, that you want to do a proper presentation for. So let's select the transaction volume. So right, and put the dollar sign. So now you have these stats, and the next thing is for you to put them in a dashboard. So how do you put them in a dashboard is when you click on any of the counter. When you click on any of the counter that you want to add to your dashboard, right? So these are so you can easily add all the counters we have as well. We call it platform fees. So now we have our NFTs. The next thing we have to do is to add them. The next thing we have to do is to add them to our dashboard. But before we do that, when you're making your query on Dune, remember to save your work, because if I refresh this screen, I'll lose all my info. I'll lose all my information, my query. So you click on save. You give your query a name. So if you're following along, you just save and you give your query a name. So when you give your query a name, so now when you click on each NFT stats that you present, you can now see the option add to dashboard. When you click add to dashboard, if you have an existing dashboard where you want to add a new dashboard, you click on the new dashboard, and we give the blockchain stats a title. So you can call it whatever you want to call it, and we click on save dashboard. So now the dashboard we've created newly has appeared here. So we click on add. So we're adding this particular visualization to this dashboard. And when you're done, you click on done, right? So mine is still loading. When you're done, you click on done. So you apply the same for this. It brings out all the dashboard. So we don't have to create a new dashboard because we already have the dashboard that we created. So we just click on add. to add it to the dashboard. We click on done. So we're adding the transaction volume to the dashboard. And we're going to click on done when it's done. Platform fees. Done. We've added this. It's done. So let's add one more visualization for the royalties. So there are a lot of other customizations you can make, but probably when you get the master sheet and you have a lot of other queries to play with, you can follow the examples on the file and make. So we're going to add this right now we've added all of them to the dashboard. So the next thing we have to see is let's look at our dashboard and see how it actually looks. So when we click on add to dashboard, we just navigate to the name of the dashboard. Just click on the name of the dashboard. When you click on the name of the dashboard, it's going to redirect you to the actual dashboard page. So now this is how our dashboard looks like, but it's not organized. So how do we do that? So we click on edit. When you click on edit, so you're clicking on edit to rearrange your dashboard to be able to appear how you want it to appear. So for this example, we're going to be focusing on these simple queries. But when you get the master sheet contains a lot of queries that you can also add to your dashboard. So, right? So this is basically a drag and drop dashboard. We are trying to put all the information that we've gathered, right? So we can put it like this. We can arrange it. You arrange it any way you want. So we can also, on the dashboard, we can add text. We can add some text widgets. We can just say, so this is some markdown you can use to structure your dashboard to appear better. So let's use the H1. My mini blockchain dashboard. So you click on save. So when you click on save, the text widget that you appears. So you also is a drag and drop dashboard. So you customize it whichever way you want, right? So this is a dashboard representing the mini information that we just created. So when you get the master sheet, you have a lot of other queries that you can also keep adding to your dashboard and keep populating your dashboard. So you will have a fantastic look. So you can have a fantastic look of something like this. This is how your dashboard is going to look if you follow the step-by-step process outlined in the master sheet. Okay. So I can take your question.
All right. So, but before we jump into the questions, yeah, we have several questions. I have to go through the questions to display them here. I wanted for you guys, probably one of the questions that many of you have is, what can I work in blockchain actually? And what kind of jobs are there in the blockchain analytics space? What we have done is we have also compiled a list of current open positions and opportunities in the blockchain analytics space for everyone who is actually interested in going into this sector and wants to explore different jobs. So if you want this sheet, it's again quite extensive sheet that we have prepared, you can tell us by commenting blockchain analytics jobs, and I will send you the sheet as well. So you guys can see all current open positions as well as companies hiring in this sector. And something else that is very important, I would like to share this opportunity with you as well before we jump into questions, is, of course, before you want to apply for a position like this or for this specific sector, you would want to educate yourself more on the topic. And because within our community, we indicated there is quite a lot of interest, we came up with a program, which is a 6-week program to become a blockchain data analyst. We will be kicking off the program in October. But for this time, we will have limited spots because the purpose of the program is for you to also have the opportunity to be in constant dialogue with our trainer and to also together analyze different blockchains and be able to really learn together. So that's why we're going to have limited spots for this training. So if you're interested to join the training, which is going to be paid training, please scan this QR code and put your name in on the list where you will also receive a 15% discount for this training. And I'm super excited about this training because me personally, I'm very, very interested in this topic because data is probably the most expensive thing in this world. Information is the most expensive thing in this world. And having the quality to analyze information and data is extremely important nowadays. All right. Now, I wanted also to use the opportunity to show you our QR code for our participation certificates. So, Prosper, maybe you can say a few words about them. I think Prosper is frozen. All right, so I will say then a few words. So guys, for the participation in this workshop, of course, we want to give you a participation certificate, which is also an on-chain certificate. So if you would like to have it, please scan this QR code and you will get it. And now we're going into the Q&A section. I will turn on Donatus's picture again and let's go through the chat with all the questions. Let me, we have so many. All right. All right, so maybe here a question. Okay, I think Görkem also elaborated. Let me see. Okay, I think Görkem wanted to say that there is another tool. I'm not sure because he was writing this in several comments, but maybe he was trying to point out that there are also other tools that are alternatives to Dune. Okay, let's see. All right, there is another question. I wanted to ask, how can we use this data in the security point of view? Donatus, do you know what that might mean?
So the question is actually vague, but when you mean using it in the security point of view, we need to understand what you mean. Yeah. But if the security point of view that you were asking in terms of tracking some sort of transaction, yeah, you can use it in terms of that kind of security, like tracking transactions, tracking maybe a scammer that drain a wallet drainer or somebody that played a foul play. So you can actually trace the movement of the transaction on chain, right? So that's like a use case where security auditors actually use this kind of information, right? Yes, like in audits and bug bounties, you can actually Okay, are you saying you want to use it in audits and bug bounties? So that's the area you can use it. So if the security focus is to maybe trace some sort of foul play within a transaction or within a contract or within a you want to trace a bug within a contract. So I think that's the area where you can that's the area of security where you can have a role. I don't know if I answered that.
All right,
Is that
I'm
clear?
just going to wait for another comment to see if you answered the question. Yeah, he's just saying like in audits and bug bounties. I don't think he answered your question, Donatus, but basically, I want to talk a little bit more about the forensics part of things, which is also very important for security. So during the training, the 6-week training that I mentioned, we will also have a guest speaker. Let me maybe show the link to the training again, where you can subscribe for the training. We'll also have a guest speaker who will talk about forensics. He's a forensics expert, and we'll talk about how to actually track lost funds, or how are they doing it, how are they tracking lost funds, and basically catching the bad guys that are draining wallets. He has really great examples and very exciting clients. Of course, he's not going to disclose his client, but I will be very excited to see how they're doing it, which is of course, for that, we need blockchain analytics, right? We need to understand how to track blockchain transactions and how to make sense of this blockchain data. All right. Let's see if we had a clarification. I care about data, I think. Yeah, so Görkem is saying, like in audits and bug bounties, I think it is useful in all cases. I care about data. Yeah. So maybe about bug bounties, Donatos, can you
Yeah,
say
yeah,
something?
yeah. You can actually use it when it comes to bug bounties and audits. You can actually track what exactly is happening. So there are a lot of use cases where data is basically the lifeblood of blockchain, right? So there are several use cases. So just like you mentioned, you can use it in wallet forensic, you can use it in bug bug bounties, you can use it in audits. So you can use it in also to for security, that's tracking file players. And also there was a question I saw about Uniswap.
Okay, if you have seen it, maybe you can.
So Uniswap is so one of the core things we're going to be doing during the blockchain data analysis workshop, the bootcamp, the 6 weeks course, is we're going to be diving in deep into the decentralized transaction. It's the DeFi transactions. When we talk about DeFi transaction, we talk about Uniswap. So all those router transaction, all those MEF transaction. So that is where we are going to go deep because there are a lot of core understanding that users need to have before they can be able to make those query. But so that's part of the things we're going to be diving in deep on the week 4 of the 6 week workshop, the 6 week boot camp.
All right, we have another question regarding the training. Are there any prerequisites to join the blockchain analytics course? No, there actually are not, because as you can see, maybe Donatus can go a little bit into the structure of the course, but it also actually includes a brief introduction to blockchain. So even people who are new to the topic, who have never worked in the industry or never had a course about blockchain, they will be that will be covered in the first week of the course. Yeah, so Donatus, maybe you can say a few words about the training.
Yeah, also, just like you mentioned, in the first week will be basically about introducing you to the blockchain, introducing you to the terminologies, introducing you to everything you need to know. But when we enter from the second week, we're talking about transaction. You need to This is where you understand how the transaction is actually mapped on Dune, how the transactions are mapped into tables. Before we talk about the tools, you can use to query just like your GraphQL, you're doing your flip side. This is where you get deeper understanding of the tools, the infrastructure, how to think to be able to make reasonable insight, to get reasonable insight from the blockchain before we now go into the blockchain protocols, how to make analysis. This is where the Uniswap router comes in. This is where the SushiSwap comes in. This is where we understand liquidity pools. This is where you actually go deep into this blockchain data. This is where you build complicated dashboard that is useful at the protocol level. And by the week 6 of things, you are able to put all your findings into a dashboard so you can be able to make a proper presentation, provide proper documentation that companies can actually use to make an executive decision. So that is like, so we are the program, the C-suite program is designed to take you from a beginner to an intermediate. So if you keep building on what you learned, you become advanced.
All right. Thank you so much, Donatus, for explaining this. We have another. Okay, so Görkem is telling us that he created a GS file. But is there a question, Görkem? Maybe if there is a question.
It's not a question.
All right. There is a question about the fees of the 6-week training. So we still don't want to disclose information about that because we're still waiting for a couple of guest trainers to join. This will kind of determine the price of the training. But if you scan the QR code, you can register that you're interested. You'll receive 15% discount on the training. And of course, you'll be the first one to be informed when we launch the training. And then, of course, you'll be informed about the fees. All right.
So about the file that Görkem created to get the swap amount of WETH USDC, you can actually get that information also on Dune. All you need is the contract, the liquidity, the pool address, and you can query the Uniswap data directly on Dune and get the same information.
Okay, another question. We'll have a participation certificate for this workshop. So for today's workshop, yes, of course. Let me again share the QR code. Just a second. I'm sharing it now. So if you scan this, you get the participation certificate for today, right? For today's workshop. And for the 6-week training, of course, you will also have a certificate, a workshop, a training program certificate that you will receive. All right. So guys, it's 6 o'clock Central European time. So we are at the end of our workshop today. Thank you so much for participating, for being so engaged, for asking questions, for wanting to get our master sheets both for the jobs, so the open job positions, as well as for the queries. We're very excited about that. And we're also excited to see you in the 6-week training in October. And I will see you then in October in the training, I guess. Thank you also, Donatus, for this presentation, and Prosper as well. And yeah, thanks for everything. And if you have more questions, guys, you can ask us on LinkedIn and we'll just reply in the comment section. But yeah, thanks for participating tonight. Thank you. Bye.